Sponsored by rxcardclub.com. Get a free prescription drug card and save up to 85% on prescription drugs. rxcardclub.com. The most common cancer in the US. People often ask about the most common causes of cancer in the United States, both for males and females. Yet this question could mean two different things. /r/n/r/n. The answers will depend on whether you define it as the cancers that are most frequently diagnosed, or rather the cancers that most often lead to terminal illness and death. /r/n/r/n. This article looks at the statistics behind those definitions and how the answers may differ depending on the sex you were assigned at birth. It also looks at steps you may take to lower your risk. /r/n/r/nHero Images, Getty Images /r/n/r/n Each year, the American Cancer Society updates its facts and figures on cancer in the US. The prediction for 2024 was that more than 2 million new cases diagnosed, with 611,720 cancer deaths. These numbers include all types of cancer. /r/n/r/n. A closer look at the statistics reveals that while some cancers occur more often, with proper treatment their survival rates are better. Others occur less frequently but will more often prove fatal. /r/n/r/n. For example, breast cancer accounts for nearly a third of all cancer diagnoses in females. But while there are fewer cases of lung cancer, it still claims more lives than breast cancer. /r/n/r/n. This understanding may change the way people perceive their own risks about the cancers that may affect them. That's especially important for some ethnic and minority groups that historically have been more vulnerable to the impacts of cancer. /r/n/r/n. Keep in mind that your cancer mortality risk depends on other factors beyond numbers, including its stage when diagnosed. For example, fewer lung cancers are diagnosed at the advanced stage today but more are found at earlier stages. Early detection may make a real difference in cancer outcomes. /r/n/r/n. The most common type of cancer overall is skin cancer, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. /r/n/r/n. Although they account for the great majority of skin cancers, the two most common types, basal cell and squamous cell cancer, are rarely fatal. Though much less common, melanoma is responsible for nearly all skin cancer deaths. /r/n/r/n. Because they occur so frequently and are so rarely fatal, basal cell and squamous cell skin cancers are usually not included in lists of most common cancer diagnoses. /r/n/r/n. Apart from those, the most common diagnoses projected overall for 2024 were /r/n/r/n. The definition of most common also is shaped by the way specific cancers are reported. Lymphoma, a type of blood cancer, accounts for 89,190 predicted cases for 2024. Yet it's divided into two distinct types. Non-Hodgkin lymphoma accounts for 80,620 of them, so it ranks below bladder cancer though all lymphomas combined are more common. /r/n/r/n. The most common cause of overall cancer deaths in the US is lung cancer. This is true for people of all sexes. /r/n/r/n. The top causes of cancer deaths for people of all sexes combined are /r/n/r/n. Comparing diagnoses and deaths side by side, it's clear that lung cancer poses a greater threat of death, even though there are more cases of breast cancer or prostate cancer each year. It's also easier to see that a less common cancer like pancreatic cancer is deadlier. /r/n/r/n. Cancer /r/n/r/n. Breast cancer /r/n/r/n. Prostate cancer /r/n/r/n. Lung cancer /r/n/r/n. Colorectal cancer /r/n/r/n. Lung cancer /r/n/r/n. cancer/r/n/colorectal cancer/r/n/r/n pancreatic cancer/r/n/r/n breast cancer/r/n/r/n prostate cancer/r/n/r/n in people assigned female at birth. Breast cancer is the most common cancer diagnosis. The 5 most frequently diagnosed cancers are projected as /r/n/r/n. Keep in mind that men can get breast cancer too. An estimated 2,790 cases of breast cancer in men were projected for 2024. The lifetime risk for breast cancer is 1 in 726 men. People who are trans or non-binary should speak with a healthcare provider about their risk./r/n/r/n. The types of cancer that most often lead to cancer death in females are /r/n/r/n. Researchers have seen a more than 80% rise in lung cancer cases in women across 4 decades. This is true despite cases dropping overall and lower rates of lung cancer in men. /r/n/r/n. Lung cancer in women can be different than in men. Just as with heart disease, the symptoms are often vague. It's essential to know these symptoms and warning signs. /r/n/r/n in people assigned male at birth. The most common cancer diagnoses in 2024 are projected to be /r/n/r/n for people assigned male at birth. The most common causes of cancer deaths in 2024 are projected to be /r/n/r/n. Prostate cancer is a good example of why a cancer can be more common but less fatal. There are 299,010 new prostate cancer cases expected in 2024. That's more than 1/4 of all cancer diagnoses in males. Yet it will only lead to 11% of cancer deaths or some 35,200 people. /r/n/r/n. While these cancer statistics may seem ominous, there are many simple steps you can take to lower your cancer risk. In many cases, these steps will involve comparatively simple lifestyle changes. /r/n/r/n. Some of these changes include /r/n/r/n. It may seem like these cancer statistics are just a lot of numbers, but understanding them is key to knowing your cancer risk and how to prevent it. The most common cancer answers are almost always different, depending on if you mean how often they happen or how often people are dying from them. Clearly, the cancer types and risks also change for men and women. /r/n/r/n. That said, lung cancer remains the leading cause of cancer death for both men and women. Keep that in mind as you seek to reduce your cancer risk. Avoid smoking, be sure to test your home for radon gas exposure, and make other lifestyle choices that will protect your health. /r/n/r/n. Cancer might be considered common because people today live longer lives than ever before. The risk of cancer increases with age. Life expectancy has dramatically increased since the 1960s, which means the likelihood of being diagnosed with cancer has increased. /r/n/r/n. The greatest risk factor for cancer will differ by each cancer type. For example, the risk of developing lung cancer is 15 to 30 times greater for people who smoke cigarettes compared to people who do not. Similarly, human papillomavirus, HPV, is believed to be associated with 91% of cancers of the cervix. /r/n/r/n, rxcardclub.com. Get a free prescription drug card and save up to 80% on prescription drugs.